Act Amendment Bill 2020 first reading. Niger Delta Development Commission Act Amendment Bill 2020 first reading. Supreme Court Act Amendment Bill 2020 first reading. Charter Institute of Human Resources and Strategic Management of Nigeria Established Bill 2020 first reading. Nigeria State Development Authority Act Amendment Bill 2020 first reading. Nigerian Red Cross Society Act Amendment Bill 2020 first reading. Nigerian Mining Corporation Act Amendment Bill 2020 first reading.
Honorable colleagues, the first order of the day is consolidation of two bills. Honorable members may wish to know that the bills are on the same subject matter. I now invite the Chairman, Committee on Rules and Business, to move that the bill be consolidated.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Abubakar Sanfulata. I represent Birniwa, Krika Sama, with the Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker, from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, I move that I bill for an act to amend the National Youth Service Corps Act, Chapter M84, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and for related matters, HB 360 and 488, and a bill for an act to further amend National Youth Service Corps Act, Chapter M84, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and for related matters, 2019, HB 239. I so move.
Any seconder for consolidation? Dr. Achiwa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Dr. Henry Okonachibong. I represent the people of Itu, Ibiono Federal Constituency in Akwa Ibom State. Mr. Speaker, I rise second that the bills, as read by the Chairman House Committee on Business and Rules, be consolidated. I so second. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Committee on Rules and Business, please schedule for the commencement of debate on the general principles of the consolidated bill. The second order of the day is resumption of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to repeal the Nigerian Minerals and Mining Act 2007 and establish the Nigerian Minerals and Mining Commission and for related matters. Honorable members will recall that on Thursday, 30th January 2020, debate was adjourned to enable honorable members peruse the subsisting acts alongside the bill, and I invite Honorable Bagos to move that the debate do resume. Honorable Bagos.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I remain Dachu Musa Bagos, representing the good, great people of Jos South, Jos East Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise in the continuation of the debate of this great bill, a bill on an act to repeal.
Honorable Bagos, you can just take 2 minutes because you actually debated that bill last time, and I don't think you're lucky. Your main protagonist is not here today. Honorable Kuya is not here. So just very quickly, before he walks in, we'll do your last 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, and thank you for protecting me, Mr. Speaker. After the debate last week, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, we went back to the archives, checked the reason for his debate against the bill, and the bill actually has been gazetted and sent to all honorable members on the 10th of July 2019 before it was listed for first reading on the 11th of July. And Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, you will recall and know that according to our rule books, that if a bill is being repealed, members are entitled to have the journal that has been gazetted, which has been done since July. And this is not an amendment, it's a repeal. If it were an amendment, we could have brought the two bills together. But because this is a repeal which has already been sent to each and every member since July, 10th of July, Mr. Speaker. So I urge and I solicit the support of honorable members to support this bill to pass for second reading. I so submit, Mr. Speaker.
Does anybody want to speak against the bill? Is already done that? If there's anybody that wants to speak against, put the question. Nobody is speaking against. Okay. Question is that the bill be now read a second time. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Bill referred to the Committee on Solid Minerals. Third order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of a bill for an act to establish Clerk, please read the long title of the last bill.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, the bill for now to repeal the Nigerian Minerals and Mining Act 2007 and establish the Nigerian Minerals and Mining Commission and for related matters. Second reading.
The bill is referred to the Committee on Solid Minerals. Third order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of a bill for an act to establish Nigerian Institute of Plant Protection and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Henry Achilong. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read up the first time on Tuesday, 16th July 2019. I now invite Honorable Achilong to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name once more is Dr. Henry Achibong. I represent the people of Itu, Ibiono Federal Constituency in Akwa Ibom State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to plead with the House that a bill for an act to establish the Nigerian Institute of Plant Protection and related matters be read a second time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This thing is shocking.
Any seconder? Honorable Halims.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I remain Abdullah Ibrahim Ali Halims, representing Ankpa Federal Constituency. I rise to second the motion moved by Honorable Henry Achibong for his bill to be read the second time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Achibong, please lead the debate.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues. In view of the fact that we've actually spent so much time today, I won't want to dwell so much on this bill. But, Mr. Speaker, why this bill is brought to the floor of this House is because of the import of plants as far as Nigeria is concerned and as far as our economy is concerned, and all the implications that we'll have to deal with if we don't protect our plants. Mr. Speaker, globally, there is this urge to increase food production. And this has stemmed from the fact that we've been having a lot of pests destroying our crops, such that the innovation has been that pesticides have been used to protect our crops from being destroyed by pests. But in so doing, there's been a lot of issues that have arisen because of that. Today is a day for remembrance of cancer. Mr. Speaker, it's been found that the pesticides have been used in protecting our crops, spraying on the fields to protect our crops from being infested by pests, are actually carcinogens. In other words, they are some of the precursors of cancer formation, and we do not know about it, but several studies have revealed it because Apart from the fact that we spray it, it helps our crops. We produce more goods, more crops and fruits. Mr. Speaker, a lot of them are persistent in the environment, and they are known as the persistent organic pollutants. And it's been known that they persist in the environment months and years after, to the extent that when the rain falls, they are actually carried off by the runoff waters and into the aquifer and into the rivers. It can even affect our fishes. Now, Mr. Speaker, we are aware that some years ago, our beans that we exported were banned in Europe. And that was because they found a lot of pesticide remnants in the food that we had exported, because it was more than the required quantity. We are aware that people use gamalin in fishing. We are aware that even snipers are being used in spraying our crops. And these are detrimental to the health of our people. And so in this world of today, we have to also follow global best practices in whatever we do as far as plants are concerned. Mr. Speaker, for those that know the value of plants, for example, in China, we are aware that the very common and very important malaria medicine called Paluta is being manufactured from a plant called Chihuahua. Quinine that we use in treating cerebral malaria, Mr. Speaker, is produced from the bark of cinchona tree. Even the cocaine that is so much abused today, Mr. Speaker, is from plant called coca. And then, Mr. Speaker, we found out that cocaine is the most potent analgesic in the world. It's the most potent painkiller. We see where people are shipping in GNLD drugs. These are all natural products that are got from plants. And you can imagine the amount of money it is raking into China and those that are actually exporting it into Nigeria. So today, Mr. Speaker, I wouldn't take the time of this Honorable House so much, but to plead that we establish this institute to be able to help regulate the use of these substances, train people, and train plant doctors that will be able to monitor and evaluate all the activities of our farmers and our agriculturists, so that we are able to protect ourselves against all these infections or cancer that may come in afterwards. So I beg this Honorable House to support that this bill pass through the second reading. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
All right, so we'll put the question. Question is that the bill be now read the second time. Those in favor, please say aye. Sorry, the motion. Or the bill, yes. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. The clerk is invited to read the long title of the bill.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for now to establish Nigerian Institute of Plant Protection and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to the Committee on Agricultural Production and Services. Fourth order of the day is a motion on reconsideration of outstanding bills from the preceding assembly pursuant to Order 12, Rule 16 of the Standing Orders of the House. Standing in the name of Honorable Abubakar Hassan Fulata, Honorable Fulata is invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, before I go ahead with the motion, I want to effect some corrections. Roman figure 1 should be deleted because it has already been considered on the 24th of July 2019. So the one on Terrorism Prohibition and Prevention Bill 2019 HB 56 should be deleted. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Abubakar Fulata. I represent Beniwa, Krikasama, Federal Constituency. Speaker, I'm from Jigawa State. On the consideration of outstanding bills from the Proceeding Assembly, Veterinary Surgeons Act Repeal and Enactment Bill 2019 HB 70 and Federal University of Agriculture Dadunkowa Gombe State Establishment Bill 2020 HB 5652. House notes that pursuant to Order 12, Rule 16 of the Standing Orders of the House of Representatives bills passed in the preceding assembly and forwarded to the Senate for concurrence, for which no concurrence was made or negatived, or passed by the Senate and forwarded to the House, for which no concurrence was made or negatived, or which were passed by the National Assembly and forwarded to the President for assent, but for which assent or withholding thereof was not communicated before the end of the tenure of the Assembly, the House may resolve that such bills, upon being regazetted or clean copies circulated, be reconsidered in the Committee of the Whole without being commenced de novo. Also note that aforementioned bills were passed by the preceding assembly and forwarded to the President for assent, but for which assent or withholding thereof was not communicated before the end of the tenure of the last assembly, and where the bills were regazetted as HB 70 and 652 respectively are read the first time. House resolved to commit the bills to the Committee of the Whole for consideration. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder, please? Robogo, you can second the motion.
Thank you, the Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues. Mr. Speaker, my name is Dagugo Dr. Farah, representing Degema Bone, Federal Constituency. I'm from River State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion as moved by the leader, the Chairman of Rules and Business, Honorable Fulata. I so second. Thank you.
Those in support of the motion say aye. Those against will say nay. The ayes have it. Fifth order of the day is a motion on need to optimize the functions of the Committee on Legislative Compliance. Stand in the name of Honorable Ibrahim Kunle Olanrewaju. Honorable Olanrewaju is invited to move the motion. Honorable Olanrewaju.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Ibrahim Kunle Olanrewaju. I represent the entire people of Moba, Ido-Osi, Ileje-Meje Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from Ekiti State. Mr. Speaker, the House note the need to optimize the function of the Committee on Legislative Compliance. Mr. Speaker, the House notes that the oversight function of the National Assembly provided for under Section 88 of the National Constitution as amended are to enable the legislature to carry out investigations within its competence in order to prevent and expose corruption, inefficiency, or waste in the execution of the administration of our laws. Also note that pursuant to the provision of Order 18, Rule 64(2), Sub A of our standing order, the jurisdiction of the Committee on Legislative Compliance includes, among others, ensuring the implementation of all acts passed or deemed to have been passed by the National Assembly and all House resolutions and motions, petitions, and other resolutions. Mr. Speaker, I am aware that in the 8th Assembly, over 1,588 resolutions were passed and about 1,192 petitions were considered by the House of Representatives, while a significant number of motions and petitions have been presented to this 9th Assembly. Mr. Speaker, also aware that the Committee on Legislative Compliance was constituted to take inventory of the resolution that has been passed by the House and ensure the level of compliance. Believe that the committee to properly function in line with the standards as prescribed by our standing order and to achieve the goals set by Mr. Speaker, all resolutions and motions and petitions should be forwarded to the committee for monitoring, implementation, and compliance. Also believe that in line with the expectation of this House, the Committee on Legislative Compliance, when empowered, will be able to keep track of all resolutions arising from motions and petitions and will ensure that they are effectively enforced. Cognizance that the inability to ensure compliance with the resolutions of motions and petitions is making the House look effective. Consequently, the House resolved to 1. mandate the clerk of House of Representatives to make available within 3 days all resolutions for motions and petitions to the Committee on Legislative Compliance to be able to monitor compliance. 2, all motions should include in their prayers the need for the Committee on Legislative Compliance to ensure compliance. 3, also mandate the committee to ensure the implementation of all acts passed or deemed to have been passed by the National Assembly. 4, further mandate the clerk of House of Representatives to notify the committee of any member attending any parliamentary comprehensive training seminar or capacity building. 5th, also urge any member who attends such seminar, conferences, etc. to portion to Order 18, Rule 64(2)b of the Standing Order of the House to file a written report of the said conference, seminar, etc. to the Committee on Legislative Compliance within 7 days of the return from such conferences. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Roja. Oh, no, sorry, Roja is not here. Sule.
Mr. Speaker,
We have heard that even
thanks for giving me the opportunity to speak, because this is the only man that shares the local government with the Honorable Speaker. My name is Honorable Shoyinka Olatunji, representing the very good people of Surulere, 2 federal constituencies of Lagos State. I am a Lagosian from Center of Excellence. I stand up to second the motion ably moved by my colleague, I so move.
Okay, this is a motion to strengthen probably one of the most important committees in this House, legislative compliance. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say nay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Ayes have it. 6th order of the day is a motion on rehabilitation of damaged infrastructure in Darazo, Ganjuwa Federal Constituency of Bauchi State. Standing in the name of Honorable Mansur Manusoro. Honorable is invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, Mansur Manusoro is my name. I speak for the good people of Darazo, Ganjuwa Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Bauchi State. I rise this afternoon to present a motion on notice for the rehabilitation of damaged infrastructure in my constituency. Mr. Speaker, the House note that Bauchi State is strategically placed as the most peaceful and populous state in the northeast of region, and the increasing population of internally displaced persons settling in the state from the neighboring states find spot for their sustenance in Bauchi state economy. The House also notes that the state's economy is agriculture-based, particularly livestock rearing and trading, with specialized livestock markets being operated weekly across the state. The House further notes that Soro market is one of such specialized livestock market and is adjudged as the largest livestock market in Bauchi State, as it is estimated that over 10,000 cattle, lambs and chickens are traded weekly in the market. The House is worried that almost all access roads to the market have been lost to erosion, and some of the bridges have completely collapsed or degraded and are therefore unsafe for use due to ecological problems. The House is also worried that during the rainy season, several industrious merchants lost their lives, while attempting to cross streams and lakes leading to the market. The House is concerned that unless the deficit of critical infrastructure supporting the economic well-being of the industrious people of Darazo Ganjo Federal Constituency and indeed Bauchi State is addressed, the people will suffer immeasurably and the needless loss of lives and injuries to the well-meaning peaceful Nigerian will continue. The House resolves as follows. Number one, urge the Ecological Fund Office of the Federation to rehabilitate existing infrastructure to support the operations of the market, particularly the roads washed away by erosion to facilitate the evacuation of goods and safeguard lives and properties of the people of the area. Number two, to mandate the committees on ecological funds and legislative compliance to ensure compliance. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Honorable Maki.
Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I'm Abubakar Maki Eleman. I represent Malamodori Kaugama. Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I'm from Jigawa State.
Point of order.
I stand to heavily.
Honorable Bessie, what's your point of order?
Honorable Speaker, I remain Baba Jimmy Benson. I just have this observation that according a member should rise and speak from his seat.
Yeah, well, that's your deputy. Honorable Eleman, point of order sustained. Speak from your seat.
Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I remain Abubakar Maki Eleman. I represent Malamodori Kaugama, Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I'm from Jigawa State. I stand up to second the motion heavily raised by my colleague, Honorable Mansour. So I so second.
Okay, Honorable Mansour's motion on Darazo Ganjua Federal Constituency is an infrastructure motion that is not open to debate. So I'll just put the question. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. The seventh order of the day is a motion calling for the reconstruction of Buhari Township Road. Standing in the name of Honorable Bicha Yohana Jiba. Honorable Jiba is invited to move the motion. Honorable Jiba.
Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Mika Y. Jiba, a member representing the good people of Abuja Municipal Area Council and Buhari Area Council to the constituency FCT. I'm from Abuja, landlord. Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I rise to call on the reconstruction of Buhari Township Road in Abuja.
Yeah, go ahead.
Honorable Speaker, sir, my honorable colleagues, the House knows that Buhari Township Road is a major road that leads to the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board office, the Nigerian Law School, as well as other federal government and privately owned establishments in the area. Also note that the road is increasingly dilapidated due to the large number of vehicles playing in it on a daily basis.
Mr. Speaker, sir, further note that the minor repair usually carried out at interval on the road serve only as temporary measure as a small portion on which they are carried out often collapse. Aware that on 2010, a contract of the reconstruction of the road was awarded to Arab construction company, but the job was abandoned without any reason, and the continuous heavy rainfall has been made the road to go from bad to worse, that is making the unbearing for both motorists and pedestrians. Concerned that the road has become the trap as vehicles are involved in multiple accidents while trying to avoid potholes, and sometimes either injure or killing pedestrians trying to cross the road. Worried that due to the dilapidated condition of the road, vehicles are often trapped in traffic, carrying commuters to lose the precious time and resources and making them less efficient in carrying their duties and due to exhaustion. Cognizant of the need for the federal government to insist on the use of standard material to rehabilitate the road in order to save the cost of continuous repair and also protect the life and property and commuters. Resolve of the Federal Capital Territory Administration to award the contract for the reconstruction of Bari-Gaba Road. 2. Mandate the Committee on the Federal Capital Territory and FCT Area Council auxiliary matters to ensure compliance. I so move.
Any second. Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Gideon Gwani. I come from Kaduna State. I represent Kaura Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion ably moved by Honorable Mika. I so second.
It's another infrastructure motion. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Eighth order of the day is a motion on the need to establish farm settlement centers in Ikanepo, Okeni, Imane, Agaliga, and Bagana in Ankpa, Omala, Olamabo, Federal Constituency, Kogi State. Standing in the name of Honorable Abdullah Ibrahim Ali, Honorable Ali is invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My distinguished colleagues, I arise this afternoon to alert this great house on the need to establish farm settlement centers in Ikanepo, Okenyi, Imane, Agaliga, and Bagana in Ankpa, Omala, Olamaboro Federal Constituency, Kogi State. My name remains Abdullah Ibrahim Ali Halims from the Confluence State, Kogi. The House knows that the agricultural sector presents Nigeria with a vast opportunity to diversify her economy and reduce greatly the overdependence on oil as a major source of revenue. Also note that agriculture has the potential to create abundant jobs for youth, women, and even the aged, increase wealth, guarantee food security, and generate foreign exchange for a robust revenue base for the nation. Recall that during the administration of former President Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, something akin to farm settlement centers were functional of different locations in many local government areas in Nigeria, where various relevant skills needed for high-yield agricultural production were acquired by farmers through the help of agriculture extension workers, and the farmers were also able to access farm inputs easily, thereby enhancing agricultural sector. Aware that graduate unemployment has reached an alarming state, hence the great need to create innovative ideas to engage the teeming youth in beneficially attractive agricultural ventures like fish farming, snail farming, grass cutter farming, poultry production, etc. Also aware that the youth can be assisted in accessing soft loans through Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency of Nigeria, SMEDA, to venture into active agricultural practice. The House resolved to mandate the Committee on Agricultural Production and Services to investigate the administration and performance of all donor funding agricultural projects with a view to unearthing the problems associated with its inabilities to achieve its set objectives and report back within 6 weeks after further legislative action. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, sir. Point of order, sir.
Yes, what's your point of order?
My friend read the body of his motion, abandoned his prayers, and took another person's prayer.
Honorable Alims, you are not listening. The prayers you read were different from the... Read your prayers again. It's correct, the sign is correct. Okay. Any seconder? That's Honorable TJ.
TJ Yusuf. I represent the people of Kaba, Bunu, Ijumufara constituency. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise to second the motion ably moved by my friend and colleague. I so second.
Okay. Those in support of the motion, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Ninth order of the day is a motion calling for the investigation into the administration of donor-assisted funds for agricultural projects. Standing in the name of Honorable Inombek D. Abante. I don't know if Abante is here. Honorable Abante is invited. Abiante is invited to move the motion.
Get up. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker and my distinguished colleagues. I remain Awaji Nombek Dagomie Abiante. I represent the people of Andoni, Opobo, Nkoro Federal Constituency. I'm a Rivers man. Mr. Speaker and my distinguished colleagues, I rise to move a motion calling for the investigation into the administration of donor-assisted funds for agricultural projects. Mr. Speaker and my colleagues, the House is aware that over the years, the federal government has been partnering, obtaining loans and grants from donor agencies such as the World Bank, the African Development Bank ADB, the United Nations, the International Fund for Agricultural Development IFAD, the International Development Agency, to mention just a few, with a view to improving agricultural production in the country. The House is also aware that over the years, over $1 billion of donors' funds have been spent on various agricultural projects in Nigeria by the 3 tiers of government. We are further aware that since 1985, the International Fund for Agricultural Development IFAD had 11
finance agricultural projects in the country with about $509.62 million, while several millions of dollars have also been committed to the implementation of FADAMA projects by the World Bank since 1993. The House recalls that the various agricultural projects were put in place with the aim of assisting Nigerian farmers, especially the rural ones, with the necessary funds needed to improve the agricultural venture, thus meeting the food demand of the fast-growing population of Nigeria, guarantee food security, reduce dependency on oil, diversify and grow the economy. The House is worried that despite the laudable objectives of these agricultural projects and the humongous financial contributions of the international donors, such as the World Bank, the International Development Agency, the International Fund for Agricultural Development, the African Development Bank, over many years, the country is still grappling with the problem of food sufficiency and farmers' prosperity. Observes that the volume of funds channeled to the Nigerian agricultural sector through these donor funding projects over the years is so enormous that one wonders if the resources are well utilized and accounted for, especially when measured against observed results. The House believes that a thorough investigation of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development and its parastatals that are in charge of the administration of all agricultural donor funding projects will help in unearthing the problems that are associated with the inabilities of the projects to achieve its desired goal. Therefore, urge this House to mandate the Committee on Agricultural Production and Services to investigate the administration and performance of all donor-funded agricultural projects with a view to unearthing the problems associated with its inabilities to achieve set objectives and report back in 6 weeks for further legislative action. I so move.
One second.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I'm Rep. Isiaka Ayokunle Ibrahim. I represent the very good people of the Iwikuro Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker. I'm from Ogun State. Sorry? I rise, Mr. Speaker, thank you very much, to wholeheartedly second the motion as ably moved by my honorable colleague, Rep. Abiante Dagogomie. I second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, sir.
Okay, I believe this is an investigative motion. Those who support the motion, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. I have a couple of announcements. This is to announce the death of the wife of Honorable Hamza Dawatu, member representing Rimi Batagawa constituency, federal constituency in Katsina State. The death occurred yesterday in a motor accident here within Abuja. The announcement from Honorable Kabir Ibrahim Tukura, who wishes to remind honorable members of the Young Parliamentarian Forum of a technical dinner today, the 4th of February at Rockview Hotel Royal by 4 p.m. Please, the YPF members are encouraged to attend as critical issues will be tabled and discussed. Announcer, Honorable Kabir Tukura. There will be a meeting of the Southwest Caucus of the House tomorrow, Wednesday, February 5th, Conference Room 144, House of Reps, New Building, at 9:45 a.m. Southwest Caucus room 144, 9:45 a.m. Announcer, Representative Femi Fakeye, the caucus chairman. Honorable colleagues, shall we please rise for a minute's silence in memory of the wife of our late colleague. May her soul rest in peace. Chairman Business, can you please move for adjournment? What's this?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Hello, colleagues. My name is Abubakar Samfulata. I represent Berniwa, Greek Asama, Greek Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, I move that the House do adjourn to tomorrow, 11 o'clock a.m. I so move.
The seconder, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Gideon Gwani. I come from Kaduna State. I represent Kaura Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion ably moved by the Chairman, Rules and Business. I so second.
Honorable colleagues, those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. House is hereby adjourned till tomorrow 10 a.m. Honorable TJ Yusuf can remain behind.